Welcome to episode 99 of the Bench is Cleared podcast, where we represent the best rivalry in all of sports. I'm Tyler Coe. I represent the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the NL West Division champion San Francisco Giants.
And guess what? No one gives a shit. We're just going to break right into it. The Dodgers have got Freddie Freeman, just like everyone's already heard. We're a little late to the ball game. You know, we got day jobs and shit. But Freddie Freeman is a Dodger, 6 years, 162 milli. Andrew Fleeceman goes out. He does it again. I mean, what is he going to do next? Trade for Shohei Ohtani and give him Gavin Lux, probably? Probably, because he's Andrew Fleeceman. What has your boy Farhan done? Nothing. Got Joc Pederson. Congratulations. Have fun hitting below 220 in the dog days of August. And then maybe a home run in the playoffs if you guys even make it.
First of all. Wow. First of all,
let's hold on, relax. We're not done yet.
The most money for
MLB
somebody.
Put out okay. First of all, you're wrong. Second of all, MLB put out, who do we think is going to be the top 5 first basemen in the MLB? The Dodgers have 2 of them. 2 of them, even though Max Muncy is going to play second base.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get much time. He's going to get, he'll get Freddie's off days, and he'll get, anytime that Freddie's on the DL, but
which will be never.
No, I'm sure. He's older. I'm sure
knock on wood, Freddie Freeman has played.
Yeah.
I think he's played 162 games a couple times, 159.
150 games, right.
160. He played 60 in the shortened season. So
Dodgers are notorious for wanting to sit their guys, though. So I think maybe
but what I'm saying is he doesn't have a history of injury, is what I'm saying.
No.
Of course there's no way he's gonna play all 162. There's no way.
No, but what I'm saying is the Dodgers are notorious for like, hey, listen, we don't want to have you do a grind of 162. So, not even a grind of 155 or 150 when you include off days, but we're going to make you do a phantom DL stint or IL stint because we want you to really have some rest time and give him like 2 weeks off. Hey, I'm sure that's going to happen.
That's just Andrew Fleeceman fleecing the game again, baby.
It's just crazy because it's not like if they miss 2 weeks of Freddie Freeman, any lineup is better with Freddie Freeman in it. But what I'm saying is if you miss 2 weeks of Freddie Freeman when you have that the other guys taking his spot for 2 weeks, it's worth it to rest his legs for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they'll be all right. I disagree with you saying, oh, if you just pay all the money, it's not a fleece.
It's not a fleece.
It's still a fleece,
it's not
baby.
A fleece.
He still went out and got him, baby.
I'm not saying it's
Let's just say,
move,
let me put it this way. Okay, he's not
a
pussy like your boy Farhan. He's not a bitch.
Okay, because Farhan hasn't spent top 5 on this offseason. What are you supposed to do?
Who is Far?
Sign Chris Bryant till he's 38? That's what he was supposed to do?
Maybe.
No.
Chris Bryant's not signed through his 38-year-old season.
He got a 8-year. Was it a 6-year or 8-year deal?
It was 7, wasn't it?
Okay, and he's 31. Boom. You're a bitch. You're wrong again.
He's 31.
Yeah, he's 31. He might be 30, but I'm pretty sure he's 31.
He just turned 30.
He's 30. Okay, so sorry, not 38.
So he'll be 37.
My bad.
Well, there you go. That
fault.
year makes a big difference.
Is it? Yeah, that's the year. To talk about a little bit around the league, because I know we probably want to go a little. You want to get a little further into this this Freddie Freeman signing before we move on, because I feel like we can't go back to it.
Of course, because nothing else matters around the league.
So just say what you want to say. I get it. Because I was dreading it and hoping and praying because I really don't want to see fucking Freddie Freeman 19 times a year, but it looks like we're going to have to.
If the Dodgers don't win 2 World Series in the next 6 years, I am going to kill myself without a doubt. I'm saying it right here, right now. 36th birthday. I'm taking myself out. I don't want to be here anymore. No, but in all seriousness, dude, Freddie adds a big dynamic to the lineup. It's that left-handed bat that we needed after Corey Seager left. I think Freddie Freeman is a better hitter than Corey Seager. I don't think that can really be argued. No disrespect to Corey Seager. He's a great player, an all-star, but Freddie Freeman has a better swing. I mean, he has a pretty swing, and he's an average. He hits for average, which I love, which has seemed to be, it's been lost on the game now, but he's a 900 OPS kind of guy consistently. I mean, what more could you want? And he's a great defender.
Right.
And I'm just going to keep piling him on. He's a leader. He's a great clubhouse guy. I mean, what more could you want?
What more could you want? I mean, you could make him play elite center field, maybe. I don't know. If we're looking,
I mean, because he's a Dodger now, he probably
might
will
play center field. I mean,
why not?
Right. Here's the thing: we always talk about like, oh, well, here's the numbers on the guy. Dude, I don't think we have to talk about the numbers for Freddie Freeman. He's fucking Freddie Freeman. Like, it is what it is. Like, I am like so fucking done because I was so excited to, we do our episode where the season's opening and we talk about our predictions. I was so excited to talk about how, hey, the Dodgers lost Corey Seager, they lost Max Scherzer, and they lost the division last year. Why the fuck are what makes you think that they're going to be better? They lost Trevor Bauer. I mean, well, we don't know. I guess we can get to that in a little bit, but
okay.
Like
We'll get into that.
But how are they better? How Sway? How? Freddie Freeman is how. Because here's the thing. It would be different if you're missing Corey Seager's defense. Well, Trey Turner is a plus shortstop where Corey Seager was a below average shortstop defensively. And
absolutely.
And then you just open a spot at second base for Max Muncy at second, or Gavin Lux at second, or Chris Taylor at second, depending how they do the outfield. So fuck it. I don't know. There's nothing much more I could say about the Freddie Freeman signing besides just hope that it's a Trey Turner, a guy who usually kills us, who just happens to choke against us for the next, I don't know, at least 5 years.
I'm really curious. This does, I think, present a problem in signing Freddie Freeman. Cody Bellinger is up for free agency, I believe, in 2 years. Walker Buehler is
as he was originally to, though.
You never know. I mean, if he balls out in the next couple seasons, but then you have Trey Turner, who I was hoping would get extended before the season started. I don't know. I mean, he's gonna command a lot of money, and then you got to think about Walker Buehler down the line. So, and then Will Smith in, I believe, 3 or 4 years. So, I don't know. Fleeceman will figure it out like he always does because he's the best GM in baseball.
Oh yeah, he'll figure it out by just paying the luxury tax. I mean, what do you mean he's got to figure it out?
Is that figuring it out or not? Is that a solution?
No, it's not figuring it out. It's being like, well, we got to figure it out. So fuck it. That's not figuring it out. This is what I don't get about the Fleeceman talk, because I get it. Listen.
The Pittsburgh Pirates can kiss my ass, all right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just trying to say you can't give him a fleece title. If we're going to give anybody a fleece title, it's going to have to go to Farhan for his payroll and a 107-win team, and the fact that everyone that comes over just decides to be, I don't know,
lightning doesn't strike twice, Jesse.
Oh, really?
Hey, the Giants are going to win 95 games this season.
Name the starting pitching.
95 games this season.
Name the starting pitcher who came over and didn't get a large contract after, because that's Drew Pomerantz, that's Kevin Gausman, that's Drew Smiley, that's Anthony DeScalfani, even though he got re-signed, but still,
everyone
got fucking money, and they were about to get
for the next 3 years. Okay. The Dodgers can do that too, although they did it a lot with Farhan. Haven't really done too much.
They only did it under Farhan.
But that's beside the point.
Under the radar guys they picked up haven't been shit. Sheldon Noisy, shot. Fucking who else came over? Fucking McKinney, shot.
Hold on.
Can't be that.
Hold on. Big announcement here. Both Sheldon Noisy and Billy McKinney to the Oakland A's. Never have to see them ever again. It's a great day here for Dodger fans. Never, ever again.
Right.
So big ups to them.
So,
but yeah, 95 games It's not going to be a big deal.
What's 95 games?
I'm not worried.
We're gonna win.
The Giants
95
are going
games?
to win 95 games.
Okay,
If
I'll
you're
take
lucky.
that. 95 games, give it to me.
Okay.
I'm down for 95. Because here's the thing: 107.
Bro, that's third place. Bro, 95 wins. That's third place with the Colorado Rockies led by Chris Bryant pacing 100 wins.
Hey,
Because Chris Bryant is going to have like a 26 WAR this season.
right?
Apparently. Hold on. Let's just set the shit talking aside for just 1 second. Does this Chris Bryant deal make any sense to you whatsoever? Because I don't understand it whatsoever.
You mean for the Rockies or for Chris Bryant?
Oh, for Chris Bryant, it makes total sense.
Okay.
For the Rockies, I don't understand at all.
No fucking idea. I guess the only thing is who is recognizable in the Rockies? Maybe Kyle Freeland. Maybe Charlie Blackmon, but he's
nobody.
Not having a good year. So maybe they're like, hey,
to the casual fan, no one.
But at the same time, it's like we need to sell some jerseys. That's the only thing I can think of. We need to sell some tickets.
Yeah, but he's not going to sell tickets. I don't think he's that big kind of.
I think he is.
I don't think he's the superstar everyone thought he was going to be.
I mean, he's not as good as people thought he was going to be after his MVP season. We thought he was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Was going to be like Bryce Harper on the right side, going to be that guy. But I mean, I'm not gonna like root against him. I'm not gonna freaking, if he struggles, I'm not gonna be posting about how and if the Giants signed him for 6 years and 150 million, it's not my fucking money. I'd be excited to get Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant's a great player. So
of course,
I understand why they didn't, because they don't want to pay him until he's 37. It sucks, but that's just, it is what it is. But I'm not gonna hate on him. I wish he would have, came back. I like the dude, but for the Rockies, I'm not sure what the fuck they're doing. They're literally paid $50 million just to get rid of Arenado. So why would you spend more money? I mean, the only thing I can think of is they're like, hey, we have to have somebody. Let's get him for a couple years, trade him, and eat a lot of his salary so we can get some decent prospects back. And that way we don't look like, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. It's not a great logic,
but you could have done that with Nolan Arenado, but you didn't. You gave Nolan Arenado away, and then you could have done that with Trevor Story at the deadline, and then you didn't because you wanted the compensation pick.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. You had Arenado is a better defensive third baseman. Obviously, Chris Bryant now has, he is more of a utility guy, I suppose. But I think Arenado's still a better pure hitter. And I understand that he didn't want to be there. And that's a big thing. He was tired. He wanted out. Right. Because they refused to build around him. But Jesus, you had a better player. And you gave him away, and then you give the bag to some dude who plays the same position who's not of that caliber. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
No, it doesn't. Because if you did the math, I don't have it in front of me, but I watched a video on, if you add in the 50 million that they gave the Cardinals to that deal, it would have been cheaper just to keep Arenado. Plus, you probably would have sold more jerseys. Plus, you just get a couple more, pitching pieces, and you might actually be able to sneak into that like second wild card. The fourth wild card. So,
yeah.
I don't know. There's not much logic there. But while we're talking around the league, I mean, is there something that you needed to get across about Chris Bryant?
Oh no, I can't wait for you to talk about how the Giants pickups are.
Oh, they are that
incredible.
I'm going to
pickups.
explain to you how great
Let's hear
it is. But we're gonna.
Yes,
I want to ask you a question.
Please mansplain to me. I don't understand.
Right. I want to ask you a question around the league first. But one thing about Chris Bryant that I forgot to say, that he signed right when it came out, right when the schedules realigned, and they found out that the Dodgers were going to play 6 straight games at home against the Rockies. So then Chris Bryant was like, "Well, I'm still going to be on the Giants."
So he's like a covert Giant still.
Yeah, exactly. He's still helping us, and he's going to. Because here's the thing, I forgot to look up the stat, but the Dodgers don't exactly destroy the Rockies. They're not a team that, even though they're bad,
No, they don't.
Yeah, the Dodgers still have their struggles against the Rockies. So yes, they're playing at home, but I mean, just for people's memory, that maybe not be thinking, maybe you're lying. Think about last year when they were going down the stretch and they ended up losing a critical series against the Rockies at home, that ultimately led them to not winning the division. But
and then it didn't matter because they still beat the Giants in the playoffs. But anyways,
and then got bounced out the next round. So who the fuck cares? So around the league, what trade do you think is more impactful for the team? Is it going to be Toronto with Matt Chapman, the Braves of Matt Olson, or the Mariners with Jesse Winker and I can't even say it.
Eugenio Suarez.
Eugenio Suarez. That's a tongue twister.
Dude, I think it's between the Mariners and the Blue Jays because I look at it this way: the Braves basically replaced Freddie Freeman.
Right.
Where
could be better, could be worse, but very close to. I get what you're saying. Pretty much a wash.
Yeah. The Blue Jays added Matt Chapman. He's not replacing anyone.
Well, if you think about it, he's kind of not obviously not the same position, but he's kind of replacing Marcus Semien because I mean Kevin Biggio is going to be at second now, so that they keep
that's
him.
True.
That's
a good point. You're right. That's a good point.
That's the only points that I made, baby.
But then the Mariners, dude. I mean, I'm stoked for the Mariners because I predicted the Mariners picking up Chris Bryant, and I thought he would be like Chris Bryant to the Mariners made a lot more sense because the Mariners have pieces and they just need some help to get them over the edge.
Right.
But Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker, that fills two pretty glaring holes for them. And I mean, they traded Fraley in the trade. So, we'll see how that pans out because Fraley could have been,
plus they got
his
Adam
hype's
Frazier
pretty
too.
big. Yeah. But Winker,
so it's almost like they were like,
dude,
well, fucking Chris Bryant can play all these positions, and they said, how about we just split it up and we just get everyone who can play those positions and just
let's just go
an
get
outfielder,
3 different guys,
a third baseman, and exactly. So they don't have to rely just on one guy to do everything. Yeah, I would go with the Mariners too. I think Winker is just getting into his prime and hitting his stride. I think Winker is going to be someone that's going to be an all-star talks. I'm not sure he's going to be MVP talks, but you look at Suarez and he was just 2 years ago one of the best, third baseman in baseball, and just had 2 really shitty years. So
dude, plus he just mashes the ball.
Right. So I think that the Mariners fleeced the Reds, and I think that's
well.
That's
let me
the
ask
biggest
you.
trade.
Let me ask you this.
Let me hit you some knowledge.
Mariners have always been as a kid, like I've said a million times, they've always been my AL team. So I like the Mariners. I watch the Mariners more closely than any other team besides the Dodgers.
Right.
But imagine being a Cincinnati Reds fan and even worse, an Oakland A's fan. I mean, dude.
Because you're right there.
Oakland A's, I feel like, isn't as bad because they're used to it. They're accustomed to, the team's almost there. Let's just fucking break it down and get rid of everyone, start over. Where the Reds, they're not really there, but you got Jonathan India, and if Sonny Gray has a bounce back season and Winker's coming up, Suarez, I mean, you could be close.
Yeah,
and now, especially with the expanded playoffs. Yeah. And now you just were like, what? Joey Votto, he only has a year or 2 left? Fuck it. Let's just let him play for last place. Like, what are you doing?
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Reds would have been in the playoffs last year if the expanded playoffs were happening. Am I wrong in that?
I don't know if that's true.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'll check on that while we go to the next subject, but I'm pretty sure that's a fact.
Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, they were there.
Right.
They could have, and they got rid of what was it? They traded Barnhart to to Detroit.
Yeah, Tucker
right?
Barnhart to Detroit. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, they really were just
shitting.
like, fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler Stevenson, is a decent enough replacement, so it makes sense. But
yeah, I mean, there's
thank God I'm not a A's fan or a Reds fan.
yeah. I mean, I just feel bad. I actually work with a Reds fan, and it's just like why like his thing is like why do I even like watch like they like are right there. I mean, what about Joey Votto? I feel like Joey Votto needs like a hug.
Trade bait at the deadline for
I
sure.
think so. I don't know.
Dude, if someone needs a left-handed bat, of course.
Yeah,
Are you shitting me? Especially now with the DH.
Right, and then like let's say for instance in the Giants preview, let's say Brandon Belt has a season-ending injury or whatever, and
there you go.
It's one of
Slots
those
right in.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man.
A lefty first baseman who can mash. There you go. But speaking of lefties who can mash, why don't you talk about your boy, Joc Pederson? No longer my boy. He's your boy now.
Well, here's the thing about the Giants made a lot of moves. First of all, I think while we're talking about the Reds, I need to say goodbye to Big Dick Donnie Barrels and Big Dick Alex Dickerson going to the Atlanta Braves. That's gonna. I mean, they've had a lot of big moments in pitch hit situations. Really stoked to see Barrels. He's probably gonna get a lot of playing time and play a lot more than he would in San Francisco. And then Dick was released, so bummed because you grew attached to them, but you get it. I mean, you got Estrada and Flores and Dubon. Like what are you gonna do with Barrels? And then Dick was struggling, so you can't exactly give him playing time when he needs it. So that kind of sucked. But all the moves that the Giants made is the same stuff they've been doing. I mean, you can't exactly hate against any of these moves because all the stuff that these moves end up being. I mean, you look at Joc Pederson, you look at his splits. I mean, his clutchness in the postseason, which is something that they were missing last year. I mean, this guy mashes left-handed pitching and fucking hits bombs. So
right-handed pitching.
I like the move. He's gonna. What did I say? Did I say left-handed pitching?
You said he mashes left-handed pitching. He can't hit for shit against lefties. Yeah, there you go.
I love.
We all know what you meant.
With that video resurfaced when he struck out against Selman, he's like, "Fuck, damn it!" On the So excited to see that. Excited to see the pearls. I love his how he tried to enter himself in the GOAT conversation when he said LeBron James won a championship with 3 teams and he wants to do the same. So it's going to be an argument who's the greatest of all time: Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or Joc Pederson. So that should be fun.
Yep, all on the same playing field, all the same caliber.
Yeah, same thing. There's a lot of moves that were made on the pitching side too. I mean, Matthew Boyd, Carlos Martinez, Jakob Junis. I mean, these are all guys who can give you starts. I mean, Jakob Junis is another ground ball dude. That's what they're going for, just ground ball dudes. And when you look at Matthew Boyd, it's more of a strikeout guy with, maybe hitting some bad luck. Maybe they feel like they can turn him around like they've done with fucking everybody. Kevin Gausman, Drew, I mean, we talked about it earlier. So, but Matthew Boyd's not going to be able to come up till like June. So it's going to be one of those, you get to stash him on the 60-day IL for a while, and then you're probably going to need someone's going to go down, especially with the rotation of Wood, Cobb, and Carlos Rodon. Like someone's going to go down at some point, at least for 2 weeks. So pitching depth is always needed. I mean, in Carlos Martinez situation, it's kind of crazy because he's had some closer experience. That's his last successful season, was when he was a closer for a little bit and had a 3.17 ERA, something really close to that. Where are we at? And it is, my bad. where are we at? Standard pitching. There we go. Yeah, 3.17 ERA, and then he dealt with some injury struggles and did not have a good 2020, did not have a good 2021. So he's on a minor league deal though, so you can put him down, and then when he starts killing it, that's the thing with today's pitching is you need 6 to 8 starters to give you time. Plus, you always got Sammy Long there to give you some spot starts, and I just don't want to see another fucking bullpen game forever. That would be great. I would love it if there was no more bullpen games. So
you guys are looking pretty stacked. Don't think you guys are going to be seeing any bullpen games unless there's catastrophic injuries. Whereas the Dodgers, it's a very different story right now. And I hate to say it, but I'm a little envious of that rotation right now because at least you guys have the depth where we don't right now at all.
And that's the name of the game. You look at the Dodgers lineup. I mean, I think they, even with talent wise, they stack up rotation wise and bullpen wise. But you look at that lineup, and I'm sorry, there's no touching them. But the Giants, that's how they were last year. But it's a thing of depth, putting guys in the right situations, and just squeaking out wins, and they did it. So that's the way they're going to have to do it again. And that's the only way. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. like for instance, when we do a little spoiler alert, I'm going to give you a little a preview of our predictions. I'm going to have to put my name on it that the Giants are going to win the division. So I think they can still do it with the depth. Cool. So, they did it last year. They had a better chance.
I'm just going to go out. I'm going to go on a limb here. Now that we're done talking about the dumb Giants and no one cares about, and why everyone who's still listening, this is why they're here to hear me talk about the Dodgers, of course.
Perfect.
Dodgers need at least one more impact starter. So whether they're, you have two teams that you go to. Obviously, the A's and the Reds are both competing with one another on who can destroy their franchise fastest.
Right.
So you got to go and contribute to this and go after a Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas, a Luis Castillo. Maybe you go to the Reds and say, hey, we'll give you Gavin Lux and like Tony Gonsolin, and you throw in a little Hunter Green action, maybe. I doubt they would give up Hunter Green. A local kid, 6'1" alum. He's only 22 years old. I met the kid a couple months ago. He throws fucking gas. He would be awesome. There's no way they would get rid of him, but that would be nice. But you got to go you have to go to Cincinnati or to Oakland and get one of those guys. You have to.
Right.
Because you can just give up Gavin Lux. He'll be nice to have around for sure. If someone gets injured, whatever. But if it's between him and getting an impact starter, you got to do it. And then the bullpen. Go re-sign Kenley. You got Tommy Kahnle, is finally going to make his Dodger debut, which is going to be great. But the bullpen, when I saw they were talking like David Price might be in the mix for starting rotation, I was like, holy shit, fix this. Go do something, because that can't happen. So Andrew Heaney, hopefully he can figure it out and they can fix him. Maybe he can be a solid 5. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that bullpen. If the plan is to put Heaney in there, put Gonsolin in there, it'll be interesting. But they have to shore up the bullpen a little bit and the starting rotation. That lineup alone is not going to do it. They need some pitching. So
So
my boy Fleeson's going to go do it. So I'm not worried about it.
The real question is we did a Twitter poll, and what starting pitching would you take? So you're saying that you need like a top guy to kind of compete with as far as depth, because obviously if you get a top guy, Heaney and Gonsolin become your depth, and White, and you still have White down there, maybe Bauer. but
Not Bauer.
I mean, yeah, that's another thing. I mean,
not
at this
well.
point,
We'll get it.
At this,
Let's just get into it right now. Bauer just got placed on administrative leave for another month,
right?
and at this point, just do it. Suspend him or don't. Like, I
Right.
don't understand this
Make a
idea of like,
decision.
let's put him on administrative leave. Yeah, you have all the facts you need to know. Just fucking figure it out. And it's not that I feel bad for the guy. I couldn't give a fuck less. But I'm just tired of like what, and I'm sure the Dodgers front office is too. Like, are we going to be on the hook for $40 million? Can we use him? Can we not? Like, we need to know.
Right.
You know, and now he's missing all of spring training. So if there was a scenario where he did come back,
right,
you're going to have to build him up. I mean,
right. Here's the thing, though. If he is, because here's the thing, his argument, right, is that none of it was true. She didn't leave the house looking that way, and this is 100% made up, which I can't buy. You know, but let's say, I mean, say he gets away with it, 100%. MLB is like, listen, there's no way we can get away with suspending him still legally. Do the Dodgers now in turn say, okay, well, hey, we're paying you, let's go, or are they like, hey, this is too much of a PR nightmare, let's ship him off? Because I think part of it also is, because here's the thing, Chapman is still doing his thing in New York. Again, Ozuna's back in Atlanta. You know, these guys serve suspensions and but this sometimes, like Starling Castro, could have easily been in the big leagues for another couple of years, is gone. No one wants to sign him.
right.
So is it a part of, hey, it's LA, so they're not going to accept it? So maybe if you send him to, I don't know, fucking Cincinnati, and you take, you know, a huge chunk of his money, that you let him serve his time there, and he maybe be able to be in the major leagues, but you know, they get away with the PR and save maybe $20 million instead of $40 million. Where are you going with this?
I don't know. I don't think it's so much a moral issue for the Dodgers, because when it first happened, I mean, dude, it came down to the wire. Like, once things started coming out, the Dodgers didn't do anything until MLB stepped in. I mean, they didn't want to be the one to make the first move, which I'm assuming is to preserve some, you know, relationship with Bauer if it ever came out that it was complete bullshit. And now that it's come out that it is bullshit in the court of law, but in public opinion, it's not. Because
you can't prove it.
Because
it's a he said, she said type deal.
I also think he's just a sociopath, and maybe he didn't do things to the extent of which was reported, but he is not fucking innocent in my mind whatsoever.
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
want him on the fucking team.
If you waited this late to be like, oh, she didn't even leave, because that's the thing. Like, for me, it's like if he came out right away and was like, listen, I have no idea how she got those marks on her face. Like, I have no idea. And then you had people trying to prove that she did, then, you know, whatever. But then when you come out afterwards when like, hey, we can't prove it. Oh, she didn't even leave the house that way. To me, it sounds kind of fishy, because it's like, you know, you didn't say that before, because if it was able to be proven, then you would have been caught, you know, lying, if that makes sense. Am I explaining that right?
I mean, if I've learned anything from all the true crime podcasts I listen to, it's get a lawyer and shut your mouth, no matter how innocent you are. So I understand from that point of view, especially when you're as wealthy as him. I'm sure he has some damn good lawyers who the first thing they said to him was, shut your fucking mouth. We'll take it from here. And you just lay low for a while.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's an admission of guilt of him not trying to, you know, desperately prove his innocence. But, you know, the bottom line is, we're getting off topic here. The bottom line is, I think he's a monster, but also I don't think he's ever going to pitch for the Dodgers ever again. But I think there needs to be clarification from Major League Baseball and the Players Association of
that's not the Dodgers'
what we're going to do with this guy. Yeah, because, dude, all last year it was every couple weeks, oh, we're going to keep the suspension or keep the administrative leave. Now we're into the new season, and that's April 16th. That's well into the season. That's a week into the season. Right. So he's not going to be in spring training. He's not going to break camp with the guys. So what are we doing at this point? But
do you think the
Dodgers
it's
also
possible? Do you think it's possible he's going to be pitching for somebody else this year?
This season? No.
Yeah. I think he will.
I think eventually.
I think if they ship him to
so.
fucking like to I don't know the maybe a team that's not doing shit, he can fly under the radar. Like they end up trading him to the Orioles or some shit, and eat a bunch of his money. Just to get away from that PR nightmare. I think because that there's no legal way to say that he can't, and he's going to file a motion. He's going to try to get his money. I think he if Chapman's able to get to still pitch and get paid, I think Bauer's going to be able to do the same thing. So, and they have,
we'll find out.
It's a known fact that what Chapman did. It's a known fact what Ozuna did. So this isn't a situation like
and believe me, I'm not
situation. So
yeah, I don't think either of us are saying like, well, those guys did it, so why can't Bauer play? None of them deserve to be playing in the league.
Right.
After that bullshit, none of them do. But I get what you're saying, that because those two guys went through a similar situation, although I view Bauer's a little different, I think it's
right.
much more of a violation of someone's human rights, what he did, than the other. Not trying to compare, but
right.
Moral
we're
of the
not
story
fucking
here
lawyers.
for me.
We don't know.
Wrap it up here. I don't think he's pitching for the Dodgers this year, dude. Because I don't know. You have half the fan base who would be like, "He's innocent. Just let him fucking pitch," and then the other half that's like, "No, he's a monster. I don't care what the court said." So you can't win as the front office. No matter what you do, people are going to be upset. Best to just wash your hands of the entire situation.
Trade him. Yeah, trade him and try to save as much money as you can.
Release him, eat the money. Yeah.
You might be able to trade him and save like 5 mil instead of 500 G's. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And just we can't go back. We're not going to know. We've said what we think about the situation, so that's all we could do. To close up and to wrap up here, is besides you said you need a starting pitching really bad. Is there anything else that the Dodgers need to do before the season, or if they get that one starting pitcher, or they clear their hands, they're done?
Yeah, I think the bullpen's okay. Kenley Jansen would be a great addition, bringing him back. But you have Trinan slotted to lock down the ninth. Depending on how Tommy Kahnle's feeling, I think he could be a solid, 8th inning guy.
But you got Jimmy Nelson too again.
I don't know what. You got Jimmy Nelson, which I'm very excited, but I don't think Jimmy Nelson's going to pitch this year.
What about Giant legend Reyes Maranta?
No. Depending on what they want to do with Brusdar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We have Jake Lamb, dude.
Right.
Solid, bench piece, I guess.
I didn't check out the numbers, but I think he stings the Giants a bit. He's one of those guys that always does pretty well. Well, I know for a fact when he was on the Diamondbacks, I felt worried about him, but I don't think he did much when he was on.
Well, let's put it this way: I'd much rather see Jake Lamb than a Sheldon Noisy, than a Luke Raley, than a Billy McKinney.
I'd rather see Zach McKinstry than anybody, though. That's our dude.
Of course, my boy, Zachy Mick, bro. We'll see. That's why I'm excited for spring training. Right. Spring training starts when you're listening to this today, Friday, the 18th. I'm excited to see those guys who are. There's going to be competition,
right?
The obvious start 9 are set. They're set, but the bench, there's going to be some competition. So I'm excited to see who comes out on top. And no, I think we're going to be all right. I think you got to go re-sign Kenley.
If anybody re-sign
Kenley, that's it.
On this side, I think Farhan's came out and said pretty much. There might be more because I was big on like, hey, they need to maybe do one more splash for a starter, and then they did the Carlos Martinez, Matt Boyd, the Jakob Junis, like they're doing a bunch of those deals, and I think that's what they're going to do for the starting rotation. As far as position player wise, unless they're going to make a big splash, I don't think they need anybody else. They might get a couple minor deals.
Is Kirk Casale a free agent?
No, Kirk Casale is the backup catcher.
He's under
that's
contract?
another thing.
Okay.
But Joey Bart, he could be a huge boost to this team. There's no way he's going to be a Buster Posey, but he could be better than Buster Posey as far as power numbers. I don't think it's crazy that Joey Bart can hit 25, 30 home runs. He has to, hopefully Kirk Casale can help him behind the plate, and the Brandons take over that locker room role. But if we could, to add somebody, it would have to be a big splash. They would have to, trade for a Jose Ramirez. They would have to trade for someone huge, a huge upgrade somewhere. But other than that, I think we're good, and we're just gonna have to roll with the platoons and see what happens. Other than that, we're good. But before we close out on the Giants side, I do want to say that I am bummed to make room for Carlos Rodon. Our boy Caleb Berger was DFA'd. Would like to see him back in the organization. Shit. Talk to him a little bit. He was high spirits, good dude. Really, really nice to us. So always be rooting for that dude and hope he lands on his feet somewhere. Hopefully if he stays in the organization, hang out maybe when he's in AAA, but hopefully he gets an opportunity somewhere. So
yeah, definitely.
Should be
solid
good.
Dude. Real quick, last thing before we wrap it up. Who signs next? Spring training starts today. Games start today.
Right.
Carlos Correa is not in anyone's camp. Trevor Story is not in anyone's camp. Who's the next big guy? Signs
Honestly,
next?
I feel like it's the same shit. Like they're like neither of them have been like, oh, their stuff is ramping up. Like, the Freddie Freeman shit was like ramping up for like 2 weeks. Like there's like a random like, hey, Carlos Correa is talking to the Astros again, and Trevor Story might be talking to the Twins. I don't fucking know. They might not even sign till and Castellanos, there's nothing going on with him. So honestly, if I had to throw a guess, I would say maybe Carlos Correa is going to go back to Houston on maybe a high AAV deal for like maybe like 4 or 5 years. Maybe he gets like 40 million or some shit. I don't know. But before you answer what you think, really quick, I thought it was really cool that the Giants actually gave a locker to Joc's brother Champ. They set him up with one as well. So that was really cool. Nice gesture, hometown dude. So and he did admit that he was a Giants fan growing up. So suck on that shit, Tyler. So who signed next?
Dog. First of all, I don't give a shit. Champ's always going to be a Dodger. And also, bro, Champ's a big Albert Pujols guy. Where do you think Pujols is going? Probably not back to the Dodgers, so I don't really care. But anyways,
right.
I think he's going back to St. Louis, one of the worst cities in America. I think it's going to be Story. I think Story's going. I think he's going to Boston.
That's
but I don't know.
I don't know. Xander Bogaerts, where are they going to put him? You think he's going to play second
base?
Maybe.
Dude, because I feel like they need a bat. Because, dude, the AL East is the best division in baseball by far. I mean, the competitiveness between 4 teams,
right?
It's gonna be pretty exciting.
Because the Padres, I mean, they have a lineup to bang. So I would maybe say the NL West, but I get you 4
Except
teams.
not for the first 3 months.
Yeah, fuck.
Fucking idiot doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle. Fucking jackass.
Hey, don't bring up motorcycle accidents, Bumgardner. That's a sensitive subject. So yeah.
Whatever. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. But I can't get over it. Freddie Freeman's a Dodger. It's not going to feel real until they announce it, until they make the move. I wonder who they're going to move to clear space. But I just know, I'm assuming it's coming tomorrow. Going to buy myself a Freddie Freeman jersey. And I'll see you guys at the Ravine in less than a month. And you know what I'm excited for? My first game of the season is going to be April 18th. The first game against the Braves. Freddie Freeman gets to play the Braves. Second week of the season. It's going to be fucking sick.
Yeah, we're going to be going to I would imagine we're going to be going to a couple games. Maybe even, are we going to take the trip up north this year?
Quite possibly.
We'll see. Nope, that is your vocal agreement that we're going to do it. So you did it.
That's where I'll wear my Giants hat when I have to go to the Giants game in San Francisco. I'll wear the Giants hat for the bet. Yeah, for the bet I lost. It's fucking because I'm a man of my word, not a little puss boy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Cool. Well, that wraps it up for us. As always, this episode is brought to you by Renovation Candle Company. Freddie Freeman's favorite candles, probably. I don't know. Maybe. He loves them. Right now, you can get all the spring candles. Go get them. Join your boy Freddie. Go buy some candles.
Buy some candles or you're a bitch. Thank you so much for listening. We are back to once a week where we're going to be with you every single week because we would never leave you, Chancho. Thank you so much for listening, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform if you are not doing so. And if you're listening to us on a podcasting platform, log over to YouTube, give us a little subscribe and that sort of thing. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Benches Cleared Podcast, Twitter, Benches Cleared P, and TikTok, Benches Cleared. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next week.